Daniel here for Tabletop for One and my top 10 solo worker placement games. And I thank you for joining me tonight. Now, worker placement was a mechanic that I was not too fond of when I first tried it out. In fact, I was ready to disregard it entirely until I played one of the games that you'll find out later on my list. And now worker placement has become probably one of the most favorite mechanics of mine, if not the most favorite. I just enjoy the way that action selection works as you place the workers out on the board, possibly blocking spots for you to go to in the future, or the AI places workers blocking the spots and providing a challenging and puzzle experience. And so let's go ahead and jump right in at number 10, and this one's the darkest theme on the list, and that is Crisis. Now, Crisis is a worker placement game where it places you in the country of Axia that is under economic collapse. And you are tasked with bringing the economy back to life. And you have to do that through building factories and hiring workers and trying to trade and generate enough resources in order to boost that economy. And should you accomplish the goals of the round, you'll continue on to the next. But if you fail to reach the thresholds, the economy will collapse into ruin forever. Crisis is a great experience. It's not flashy though. The color and the design is a little dark and bland, but the gameplay is solid and the solo experience is the best. I even prefer it way beyond the multiplayer experience, and I highly recommend it. And so for number 9, we have the first co-op on the list, and that is going to be Atlantis Rising. Now, Atlantis Rising is a game where the gods have been angered with the Isle of Atlantis, and they are trying to flood it, while you and your followers are trying to gather resources, harness mystic energies, and build a portal to escape the coming apocalypse. At its core, Atlantis Rising is a survival game, but you place your workers out on the various peninsulas, hoping to gather the resources you need. But after you place your workers, the floods might flood those areas, preventing you from accomplishing your goals. It's a very tense game, and it provides a very thematic experience as you flip over each of the little pieces of the peninsula until the entire island is covered in water. It's such a great experience, and I highly recommend it. It's not higher on this list only because I prefer it more at multiplayer, but as a solo game, definitely worth a play. And so for number 8, we have one of the big worker placement games that uses the deck building mechanic alongside it, and that is Dune Imperium. Now in Dune Imperium, you are trying to race against the AI to get 10 points. So at its essence, it's a racing game, and you gain the points by going up the faction tracks, by accumulating spice, or winning conflicts. And with the deck building mechanic allowing you to gain an edge in the conflicts or access more worker placement spots, the game mechanics work really well together even when the theme doesn't come through much at all. If you're looking for a worker placement deck building game, look no further than Dune Imperium. And so for number 7, we have a worker placement game that is warm, fuzzy, and a little bit sticky, and that is Honey Buzz. Now in Honey Buzz, the honeys have become entrepreneurs, and they are looking to market their honey and gain the rewards. And in this game, you have this unique mechanism where you draw tiles from the worker placement spot that you place your bees, and you place these tiles and they make little honeycomb patterns. And when you complete a pattern, it activates a whole bunch of actions, gives you resources, and provides all this nice, fun little combo experience. Now, the solo mode gives you variable objectives as well as variable scoring and goals in that regard, as well as the dummy drones that block spaces for you. It provides a very challenging experience, and the theme is so much fun that you just want to play it just for the components, the theme, and the fun gameplay. And so for number 6, we have the first of 2 Luke Laurie designed games on this list, and that is Whistle Mountain. Now, Whistle Mountain flew under the radar as a solo game, and that's because the solo rules are not in the box. They're print and play online on the publisher's website. And that's such a shame because people will look at this game and see that it's 2 to 4 players on the side of the box, not knowing that there is a very good, fun, solid solo mode available for them. And I highly recommend it because Luke Laurie's games are fantastic. He's one of my favorite designers. And you'll know him better probably by the next game that I'm going to mention later on my list. But this game is fantastic. Staying true to Luke Laurie's designs, you put your workers out onto the board, and then at some point you pull them all back. And when you pull them all back, you activate your tableau, giving you all sorts of bonuses and resources. The theme of the game is kind of out there. You're building scaffolding up this chasm. There's a bridge across. You're building contraptions and machinery on the scaffolding. The water's rising, and your workers fall into a whirlpool, and you've got to rescue them. It's way out there. It doesn't make any thematic sense, but it doesn't matter. The game's so much fun, and it's got such a bright, vibrant color scheme, and the resources pour in, the points pour in. Oh my goodness, the points. You end up with this pile of points at the end of the game. There's these little star tokens, and they just pile right up. And before you know it, you got 200 plus points. But it's such a great experience. I highly recommend it. Some of you may even already have it in your collection and don't even know it's a solo game. So check it out. Jump on the publisher's website, download that print and play version of the solo game, and let me know what you think. And number 5 is the only Uwe Rosenberg game I own, and that is Nusfjord. Now, Nusfjord is very popular among the solo gaming community. It was one of those worker placement games where the experience is a very sandboxy type experience, as you can kind of just do whatever you want to try and accomplish your goal. Now, it is a beat your own score solo mode, but it really provides such a challenging experience as you have different decks that you use each time you play. And when you shuffle the deck and you put out the cards, each game feels so different than the others because of what cards come out. And those are the only cards that come out for the game. So you kind of have to build out your farm and build up your fishing fleet and build up the community in the best way you think possible with the combination of cards at hand. And this game has one of the best worker placement solo modes, in my opinion, where the workers you place out this round are going to block you in the next round. I love that solo mode so much. I've used it in other games, such as Lords of Waterdeep and Argent the Consortium. I love adapting that solo mode. It makes it so easy to adapt to other games. And it's such a brilliant, simple design that works so well. Now keep your eyes out for the new big box coming later this year. I really hope they make the extra decks available for us previous owners, but I'm definitely looking forward to this being able to hit more tables in the solo gaming community. So let me know if you plan on ordering it, because I'd like to hear that. And so number 4 is out of print and hard to find, and the only way you're going to get it is if you wish for it. And that is Wishland. Now, Wishland puts you in charge of developing an amusement park, and it's such a fantastic experience. It is at its heart a worker placement and tableau builder where you are hiring mascots, building restaurants, designing and building attractions, putting out advertising, attracting customers, and trying to build your coffers as you go for the best amusement park ever. And there's even in-game achievements that you're awarded as you complete certain goals. All sorts of things you can do, and the gameplay is so fast and so much fun. The components are top-notch. You have all these different little kinds of meeples for each of the different colors, and they look great on the table. The color scheme is great. Everything about this, there's really nothing I dislike about this game except the fact that you can't get it. And I wish you could. Sorry. No pun intended, but it's there. But I hope it becomes available. There is rumors that they're going to have a reprint or an expansion Kickstarter in the future. I really do hope it happens. And if it does, definitely look into getting it because Wishland is such a great experience and definitely worth being on my top 10. And so for number 3, we go to the second Luke Laurie design in my top 10 list. And that, of course, is going to be the Dwellings of Eldervale. Now this big box not only looks epic, but it provides an epic worker placement experience. And of course, just like Whistle Mountain, you're going to send your workers out. You're going to bring them back. But in this one, man, you build this huge tableau and you have so many resources coming in. On top of that, you're out there in Eldervale trying to build up your dwellings, encountering wandering monsters, battling the AI, trying to harness the elements, casting magic spells, all sorts of things. I mean, this game has everything in it. And I just absolutely love it. You know, I wish there were more games like this out there. Maybe something with a sci-fi theme. You know, that would be nice. We'll see if that happens. But Dwellings of Eldervale, great experience all around. Little bit pricey, hard to get, but keep an eye out for it because it keeps getting reprinted and it's definitely worth it. All right, and for the last 2, we have some of the most thematic games in my collection, especially when it comes to worker placement games, which is quite surprising because worker placements aren't always that thematic. But this one has you designing your own life, living it the way you want it, and pursuing the most happy life you can in the pursuit of happiness. And so in the pursuit of happiness, you're actually not placing out workers. Instead, you're spending time. You put the time on the board and do the action. So you could be doing activities or going out shopping or doing your job or dating somebody or spending time with your spouse or daydreaming or working in the community or all sorts of things. There's so many different options to do, and you pursue the things you want to pursue. Do you want to own a board game collection? Well, guess what? There's an actual card in there that's a board game collection. You know, do you want to be the president? You can be the president. Do you want to go LARPing? You can do that. There's all sorts of things. The comical, fantastic little drawings and art style lend to the theme really well. And there's so many things to do, and you kind of want to work overtime to make it happen. But here's the thing. If you take on too much, you will get stressed out, just like in real life. And just like in real life, too much stress is going to shorten it because that's how the game ends. The game ends when your life ends. And so if you stress out yourself too much in this game, you will have less rounds in the game, and the game will end early. Now, the solo mode is a beat your own score solo mode, but it comes with 3 objectives that you must complete by the end of the game. And it provides a challenging experience and a fun experience. Honestly, I don't ever care if I win or lose in that game because I just enjoy like playing this life out and seeing how it goes. The Pursuit of Happiness is out of print too, but guess what? I believe it's on the boats now and may be distributed soon. So keep an eye out for it. You may have the opportunity to pick it up. It is one of the most thematic worker placement games in my collection and definitely worth it. And so for the last one, this is also an incredibly thematic worker placement game and definitely worthy of my number 1 spot. And that is Consumption, Food, and Choices. Now, Consumption, Food, and Choices is expertly designed by Karen Knobloch. And it's so engaging and so much fun as the game has you buying food, cooking the food, eating it, managing your diet, and exercising, and trying to live a healthy, balanced life. Now, it is a beat your own score solo mode here too, but you have the added goal of having a cleanse diet. in the solo mode. And so by the end of the game, you're going to want to have cleansed your body of all the stuff that you put into it and exercised and kept yourself healthy. It's very challenging because the different foods that you can make can provide extra bonuses, but they're going to put a whole bunch of stuff you don't want in your body in there. And so you got to find that balance, and it's done so well. It's educational, it's thematic, it's very tense at times too as you're trying to balance everything. And the design, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how impressed I am with the design of this game. To make a game like this, to be so thematic, yet still be a fun game, is an accomplishment. And the designer, I've praised her plenty of times. She did a great job, and she deserves all the credit she can get for this game. I highly recommend you seek out a copy. I don't believe it's in print anymore, but I've seen it for sale several times on the Facebook Marketplace. Definitely check it out. It's worth it to be in your collection. It's such a good game. I just can't highly recommend it enough. So go look for it and check it out. And so this has been my top 10 solo worker placement games. You'll have to let me know in the comments below which of these games that I've highlighted you want me to play through on my channel next, because I have not played through any of these on my channel yet, and I will take your vote into consideration. Also, let me know your top 10 worker placement games. I'd like to hear them. I do have some honorable mentions, such as Endless Winter and Lost Ruins of Arnak. I own those, have played those. I have not played them enough to rate them. And so I will have to play them more. I wonder if Lost Ruins will make it to the list. I have no doubt that Endless Winter will. I just don't know where I'll put them. But nevertheless, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank you so much for watching Tabletop for One. Have a great night.